So tonight we're in a slightly different location, but it gives the opportunity to see the whole stupa and the whole environment. So that is the bonus. So this is now the ninth night that we have been doing these prayers for the Suffratan of Stupa of Rinpoche, combined with the prayers for the Festival of Light and Merits. So we begin with the mantra to increase the power of recitation, and we're also going to make a special dedication again tonight for Mummy Max. So Mummy Max was one of the earliest students of Rinpoche and Lama Yeshe, and she was instrumental. She gave all her money when she was young, working in Nepal, to buy kopan and to help with the monks, the Mount Everest Center it was called then. And I heard from Harry last night, also a very old student of Lama Yeshe. He said that Geshe Ndagi told him years ago that Mummy Max had created so much merit that she could go to any Pure Land she wanted to. And he told me that he told Mummy Max a year or so ago that what Geshe Ndagi had said, that she could go to any Pure Land she wanted. And Mummy Max replied, "I don't want to go to Pure Land. I want to come back and help the Lamas again with their work." So very, very inspiring. Okay, so begin with the mantra to increase the power of recitation 7 times. Tayata Om Dare Dare Bendare Soa. 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 Tayata Om Dare Dare Bendare Soha. Tayata Om Dare Dare Bendare Soha. The Noble Sutra, remembering the 3 jewels. In Sanskrit, Arya Ratna Chaya Anumishmati Sutra. In Tibetan, Paba Konchuk Jesu Jembe Do. Homage to the Omniscient One, purified and consummate, victorious, virtuous and transcendent, thus gone, foe-destroying, entirely perfect Buddha, full of wisdom and blissfully proceeding, the knower of the world, charioteer and subduer of beings, the unsurpassable and teacher of gods and humans. Such is Buddha, victorious, virtuous and transcendent. He who is thus gone exemplifies the merit which is his cause. In him no root of virtue is ever worn away. Through his manifold patience he is excellently beautiful. He is the treasure ground of merit, adorned with the tokens of enlightenment. He is graced with the flowers of the marks of Buddhahood. All he does is timely and opportune, and nothing inharmonious mars the sight of him. True joy indeed he gives to those who open up their hearts to him in faith. Through the brilliance of his wisdom he is unconfounded, and against his power there is no victory. He is the teacher of all living beings, the father of all bodhisattvas, the king of all supreme ones. He is the guide for those who journey to the city beyond affliction. His wisdom is unbounded. His assurance is beyond imagination. His speech is altogether pure, well-tuned, and sweet to hear. Gazing on him, one is never sated. His body is beyond compare. In the realm of desire, he is unstained, and by the realm of form, he is wholly uncontaminated. He is not mingled with the formless. He is altogether free from misery, and from the aggregates he is utterly and altogether liberated. The elements have no hold on him. He has mastery over the sense powers. All his bonds are completely severed, and from all pains he is perfectly and totally released. No craving does he have. He has passed beyond the stream. Perfect is his wisdom, and in the wisdom of the Buddhas, past, present, and to come, he has made his dwelling. In nirvana, where all suffering is transcended, he does not abide. His abode is on the summit of perfection, whence he perceives all living beings. Such are the sublime qualities that are the greatness of the Buddha, victorious, virtuous, and transcendent. The sacred doctrine is righteous in the outset, righteous in the middle, righteous in the end. In its meaning excellent, and in its words and syllables likewise. It is integral and unalloyed. It is all-sufficing, altogether pure and purifying. Well spoken is this Dharma by the victorious, virtuous, and transcendent. It is a perfect way of seeing and is devoid of flaws. It is perennial and leads us onward. To see this Dharma is to fulfill one's purpose. It produces in the wise the wisdom all distinguishing. The Dharma spoken by the victorious, virtuous, and transcendent is shown to be well-tempered to the instructions and to the needs of all. It drives one from samsara and causes one to go to perfect Buddhahood. It is free from contradiction, and in it all is summarized. It is to be relied upon totally. It is a cutting of the root. The Sangha of the Mahayana comprises those who have well entered, wisely entered with straightforwardness and aptitude. Right it is to join one's hands before them, and right to make prostrations. They are the glorious field of merit. They are the perfect recipient of gifts. They are the objects of offering, everywhere and always. They are the objects worthy of all offering. Wisdom bestow. Until enlightenment, I take refuge in the Lama, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. To achieve perfect awakening for others, I shall recite this profound tantra. Until enlightenment, I take refuge in the Lama, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. To achieve perfect awakening for others, I shall recite this profound tantra. Until enlightenment, I take refuge in the Lama, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. To achieve perfect awakening for others, I shall recite this profound tantra. Arya, Jetsam, and Jishri appears instantly in the sky before me, seated upon a lotus and moon, set amidst cloud banks of ravishing offerings. He shines as brilliant as a mountain of gold, rising above the widest of clouds, and with a gentle smile he is the very epitome of youth, a 16-year-old blazing with all the major and minor marks. He has one face and 4 hands. His first pair of hands holds a sword of wisdom and a book, while the remaining pair holds the bow of method and the arrow of wisdom. Seated in the lotus posture, he rests his back against the moon. He wears a skirt of various silks and is adorned with the finest jewels. His hair, braided with opala flowers, is tied up upon his crown, where the lord of the family Akshobhya abides. This empty yet apparent kaya of wisdom appears clear and vivid like a rainbow in the sky. O wonder, Manjushri, you find no equivalent in the appearance of samsara and of nirvana. Amongst Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Shravakas, and Pracheka Buddhas, nor are Brahma and Indra, the greatest of the gods, your equal. Therefore the names and kayas that you display, in accordance with the infinite array of knowables, as well as your qualities, cannot be contained within the vastness of the sky. They fill my mind with the greatest incontrovertible devotion. So with a voice that resounds with the gentle beauty of a tambura, I sing the adamantine names of the embodiment of pure wisdom. When the liturgy of your adamantine names is set to melody, the qualities of your knowledge, love, and power are invoked, causing compassion's brilliance to illuminate the threefold world in all its entirety. This recitation banishes the darkness of the twofold obscurations and eliminates the negativity and downfalls gathered by both myself and all others since time without beginning. It causes the lotus blossom of supreme mind to bloom, awakening the two knowledges of nature and phenomena in their multiplicity. And chanting the names of Noble Manjushri in the separate booklet. In the Indian language, Arya Manjushri Nam Sangiti. In Tibetan, Pava Jampagi Zen Yendava Juba. In English, chanting the names of Noble Manjushri. Homage to ever youthful Manjushri. Then Vajradhara, ever glorious, supreme sedurer of the hard to tame, the hero conquering the triple world, the Vajra lord and master of all secrets, with eyes wide open like white lotuses, his face just like a lily in full bloom, while shaking in his hand repeatedly a Vajra of the highest excellence, accompanied by countless Vajrapanis with features such as fierce, turbulent brows, subduers of the hard-to-tame heroes appearing with heroic, hideous forms, brandishing in their hands their mighty Vajras, the tips of which emit intensive light, great benefactors to all living beings through skill, through insight, and through great compassion. With pleased and happy attitudes, with joy, their bodies, those of wrathful deities. Protectors who assist the Buddha's deeds, their bodies bowing reverentially. Paid homage to the true awakened one, protector, blessed one, the Tathagata. And joining his two palms respectfully, he said before the Lord the following: O omnipresent Lord, for my well-being, with due concern for me and for my sake, that I may reach complete awakening upon the basis of illusion's net, and for the sake of every living being sunk deep into the mud of ignorance, their thoughts disturbed by various afflictions, so that they may obtain the highest fruit. May you, the most supreme awakened one, the blessed one, the world's guru and teacher, who knows the great Samaya's reality, aware of wishes and abilities, reveal to us the great name chanting of the wisdom body of the blessed one, the great Ishnisha, master of all speech, the self-arising wisdom emanation, the wisdom deity called Manjushri, these names with meaning both profound and vast, of great significance, unmatched, serene, with goodness at their start, middle, and end, proclaimed by Buddhas of the aeons past and to be taught by Buddhas yet to come, and taught not once but time and time again by all the Buddhas of the present age, which were respectfully recited in illusion's net, the Tantra most supreme, by multitudes of mighty Vajrapanis, the joyous guardians of secret mantras. Just this I shall uphold with firm resolve until I reach my final liberation, so that I may become a great protector, the bearer of the Buddha's every secret. And this I shall reveal to living beings according to each one's capacity, in order that afflictions may be quelled, so ignorance may fully be dispelled. With this request to the Tathagata, the master of all secrets, Vajrapani, his body bowed, his palms politely joined, and stood before the Lord devotedly. And so the Blessed One, Lord Shakyamuni, the best of men, the fully awakened one, extending from his mouth his handsome tongue, a tongue unmatched in both its breadth and length, displaying a gentle smile to living beings, a smile that fills the threefold world with light, that tames the enemy, the four maras, that ends unwanted birth in all three forms. His voice melodious like that of Brahma, completely fitting all the triple world, replied as follows to the Lord of Secrets, the Vajrapani, strongest of the strong, that you, abounding in supreme compassion and aiming to assist all living beings, are willing and prepared to hear from me this evil-quelling, purifying chanting, the chanting of the name so filled with meaning of Manjushri's embodiment of wisdom. How truly excellent, O Vajradhara, how excellent of you, O Vajrapani. And so I shall, O Master of all secrets, reveal just that to you most splendidly. A single-minded focus, listen well, how excellent, responded Vajrapani. So truly excellent, O Blessed One, and then the Blessed One, Lord Shakyamuni, surveyed him for the family great with mantras, the family of the Vidyas and the mantras, the family that is threefold by its nature, the family of and yet beyond the world, the foremost family of Mahamudra, and so the family great with great Ishnisha. Bound at Lord of Speech he spoke these verses, which include 6 kingly mantras, which manifest from non-duality, which bear the quality of non-arising. A, I, U, Shtito, Shuddhi, Jnanam Murti Aham Buddho, Buddhanam Tradva Vatinam, Om Vajratishna Dukha Cheda, Prajna Jnana Murtaya, Jnana Kaya Bhageshvara, Aparatsanaya Tenama. And so he is the Blessed One, the Buddha, awakened fully, born of the letter A. He is the letter A, the foremost phoneme, supreme, most suitable, with meaning great, arising from great vital force unborn, beyond expression based on words or speech, the foremost cause of every form of speech, the shining forth of every kind of language. Great feast who takes the form of great passion, producing bliss in every sentient being. Great feast who takes the form of great anger, great enemy of every mental poison. Great feast who is by nature great delusion, delusion's vanquisher for deluded minds. Great feast who is in essence great fury, great adversary to all furiousness. Great feast who takes the form of great desire, who vanquishes desire in all forms. He is great carnal lust, he is great bliss, he is great happiness, he is great joy. With great appearance, bearing form supreme, with great complexion marked by great physique. With great renown, the great magnificent one is mandala voluminous and great, the bearer of the mighty sword of wisdom, the foremost goad for taming great afflictions, possessing great renown, his glory great, his brightness great, his luster most supreme, most wise upholder of the great illusion, fulfiller of the great illusion's aims, enraptured by the great illusion's rapture, the great illusion's great illusionist, the foremost lord of great magnificence, supreme upholder of great discipline, intense supporter of great tolerance, with valor rooted in great diligence, samadhi resting through great meditation, endowed with bodies flowing from great wisdom, both great in strength and great in skillful means, a brimming ocean filled with vows and knowledge, by nature great in kindness, limitless, the foremost mind, enriched by great compassion, of great insight, of great intelligence, great dexterous one, with methods ever great, commanding powers and great miracles, with driving force supreme, with speed unmatched, renowned great lord of foremost majesty, most valorous owing to his great might, destroying the massive mountain of becoming, unyielding, holding strong a massive Vajra, great terrifying lord, the great cruel one, provoking fear in great and daunting creatures, protector is the greatest of all Vidyas, the Guru is the greatest of all mantras, traversing well the Mahayana's path, himself the Mahayana's foremost way. He is Mahavarachana, the Buddha, great sage, observing great intensive silence. Arising from the great mantra way, he is at heart the great mantra way, accomplished in the 10 paramitas, having the 10 paramitas as home, in whom the 10 paramitas are pure, for whom the 10 paramitas are means, protector reigning over all 10 grounds, residing steadily on all 10 grounds, made pure in nature by the tenfold knowledge, maintaining purity through tenfold knowledge, with tenfold forms, intent on tenfold content, with tenfold strength, pervasive lord of sages, achieving every aim for every being, endowed with tenfold mastery supreme, beginningless complexity, devoid by nature pure reality in essence, unwavering a speaker of the truth, with speech and actions perfectly aligned, a teacher of the non-dual truth, non-dual, atop reality's most lofty peak, with selflessness his wild lions roar, instilling fear in deer-like misled seekers. Their journey is fruitful, travelling everywhere, as swift as thought in all Tathagatas. A victor slayer of foes, triumphant lord, a universal king with forces great. Assembly head, instructor for assemblies, assembly lord, assembly chief, the ruler. Most influential, bearing precious burdens, not other bound, his way the greatest way. The lord of speech, the master of expression, most skilled in words, adept with language, truthful. With boundless words, the teacher of the truth, providing teachings on the fourfold truth. Not coming back, not turning round, Rhino, the leader of the Pateka Buddhas. By going forth in different ways, a single cause of all great elements. Our heart bhikshu, defilements exhausted, devoid of passion, master of the senses, arrived at comfort, met with security, for he having called down is free from stains, equipped in forward knowledge on its base, a sugata, best knower of the world, not thinking me, not clinging on to mine, established in a system of two truths. I'm on the edge of psychic life's far shore, with deeds accomplished resting on the bank, emerging from untainted lone awareness, with sword-like insight ever penetrating, the Son, the Dharma King, the noble Dharma, supreme illuminator of the world, the Dharma Lord, the sovereign of the Dharma, the teacher of the path to excellence, accomplishing all goals, fulfilling aims, completely free from wants of any kind, bereft of thought, a non-depleting source, the Dharma source, supreme beyond decay, enriched by merit, merits gathering, unique great wisdom, wisdom, wisdom rich, aware of what exists and what is not, while gathering to twofold gathering, eternal yogin, king of everywhere, the object and the mind of concentration, the master of intelligent reflection, for by oneself alone is he experienced, immovable, the ultimate beginning, the holder of the three enlightened bodies, the Buddha formed of 5 embodiments, the omnipresent made of 5 wisdoms, his diadem with 5 awakened ones, with all 5 eyes maintaining non-attachment, the great progenitor of all the Buddha's eminent and foremost son, arising from the world of true insight, the sourceless Dharma source, existence ending, comprised of Vajras, holy, dense and firm, the newborn sovereign ruler of the world, emerging from the sky, the self-arisen, the massive blaze of knowledge and of insight, illuminating beacon of great light, a lamp of wisdom shining brilliantly, a light for beings, a lantern unto wisdom, with energy supreme, most radiant, the Vidya King, the greatest mantras Lord, the mantra King achieving noble aims, the great Ashnisha, marvelous Ashnisha, the Lord of space, revealer of all things, the best embodiment of every Buddha, with eyes the joy of every living being, creator manifesting varied forms, great sage, deserving praise, deserving worship, a mantrin born unto the triple family, upholding mantras of the foremost pledge, the greatest bearer of the triple gem, who teaches all 3 peerless vehicles, with snare unfailing, most victorious, the snatcher of a great, the Vajra snare, the Vajra hook, the snare of excellence, called Vajrabhadava, he is terrific, 6-faced, the king of anger, hideous, 6-eyed, 6-armed, the ever-powerful, bearing his terrible fangs, a skeleton, hala hala, 100 faces proud, the Yama, killer, ruling obstacles, instilling fear with Vajra impetus, the Vajra-hearted, famous for his Vajra, with belly large, with Vajras of illusion, the Vajra-born, the sovereign of the Vajra, akin to space, his core comprised of Vajras, unmoving, haughty, with his single dreadlock, his clothes an elephant straw hide still moist, the great terrific one who cries ha ha, who screams he, instilling fervent fear, his laugh a screeching laugh, a booming laugh, he is the Vajra laugh, the mighty howl, he is the noble Sattva and Vajra Sattva, the Vajra's sovereign lord, the highest bliss, the Vajra's wrathfulness, the highest joy, intoning hums of Vajra Humkara, with Vajra arrows serving as his weapon, his sword comprised of Vajras slashing all. Every Vajra bearing, with just a single Vajra ending strike, with eyes like Vajra fire, truly dreadful, with hair that's like a Vajra set ablaze, Immersion of the Vajra, great immersion with eyes like Vajra's eyes 100-fold. With Vajra hairs that sprout upon his body, his unique figure marked by Vajra hairs. With nails advancing Vajras at their tips, with skin that's solid like a Vajra's core. The splendid master donning Vajra garlands adorned with Vajra fashioned ornaments. With booming voices, laughter crying ha ha, a sixth syllable producing Vajra rumbles. Great Manju Ghosha's sound supremely loud, a roar unique unto the threefold world. The voice that reaches every bound of space, preeminent amongst all voice endowed. He is a being who's fully realized truth, reality its peak and selflessness. Supreme in propagating emptiness, unspoken teaching both the deep and vast. The Dharma conch emitting piercing sound, the Dharma gong with lasting resonance. Arriving at unbounded liberation, he is the Dharma drum in all directions. Without a form, with handsome form supreme, replete with forms diverse, comprised of mind. With splendor shining through his every form, with all reflections under his control. Invincible, renowned as Lord Supreme, the Lord Supreme who rules the threefold world. Abiding on the noble lofty path, great source of flourishing, the Dharma's crown. With youthful form unique unto all worlds, the elder senior father of all beings. Adorned with 32 auspicious marks, most beautiful, most handsome in all worlds. The teacher teaching mundane good and knowledge, the teacher to all beings most confident. The world's most trusted guide, protector, savior, the refuge unsurpassed, the guardian. With rich enjoyments filling all of space, the knowledge ocean of omniscient beings. While smashing through the shell of ignorance and breaking through the cage of psychic life. The thorough queller of intense affliction, arriving at samsara's opposite shore. His crown, the crown of wisdom, consecration, his ornaments comprising perfect Buddhas. The soother of the pain of threefold pain, the ender of the trio ending free. Arriving at the threefold liberation, completely free of every obscuration. Having achieved a quality sky-like beyond the stains of every last affliction. Aware of timelessness in all three times, most eminent amongst all sentient beings. The crown amongst those crowned with noble virtues, completely free from every kind of substrate. Established firmly on the path of space, a splendid wish-fulfilling jewel in hand. The best of all, this precious, omnipresent, great wish-fulfilling tree, most plentiful. The greatest of all great auspicious vases, fulfilling the aims of living beings, a doer. An ally most beloved to all creatures, aware of good and bad, aware of times. The omnipresent knower of the pledges, upholding pledges, conscious of occasions. Awake to varied aptitudes in beings, with expertise in threefold liberation. With virtues, knowing Dharma, auspicious source of all auspiciousness. Of all auspicious things, the most auspicious, great splendor, glory, good, most prosperous. Great reassurance, foremost celebration, great joyousness, the highest form of pleasure. Abundance, reverence, action, venerable, great happiness, the noble Lord of splendor. The greatest grant of all wishes wished for, the highest source of all refuge granting. The fearsome enemy of potent danger, alleviating danger in all forms. With tufts of hair, with plumes of luscious hair, with matted locks cord tied. 5 face with 5 hair tufts, his head well crowned, his head adorned with garlands of 5 strands. Upholding great observances, head shaven, the foremost of observances, chaste student. Perfected fully, he is the greatest Veda Gautama. And Brahman, knower of Brahman, arrived in full at Brahman Nirvana. Awakening its branches, liberation, release, complete tranquility, quiescence. Nirvana, peacefulness, tranquility, approaching graceful entry to Nirvana. The culmination, ending pain and pleasure, the state devoid of passion, free from substance. Beyond defeat, unmanifest, unmatched, nor making manifest appearance free. Pervasive, timeless, fully omnipresent, minute beyond defilement, seed free. Unstained, devoid of passion, passionless, controlling humans, free from every illness. By nature most awakened, fully awake, omniscient, knowing everything supreme. Beyond reality is consciousness, pristine awareness, bearing non-dual form. Beyond conceptualization, effort-free, acting as Buddhas do in every age. The Buddha endless and beginningless, the Buddha at the start, devoid of sequence. With wisdom as his only eye unstained, the Tathagata with wisdom as his body. The sovereign of all language, great debater, the king of discourse, best of orators. The best and greatest of communicators, the unassailable, the line of speech. With universal vision, true delight, with fire garlands handsome to behold. The endless not most radiant, great luster, with shining rays in hand, providing light. The best and foremost of all great physicians, unequaled in removing thorns of pain. A tree providing medicine for all, a foe opposing every malady. The lovely crowning jewel of all three worlds, a cluster of stars most glorious. The end of space in all its 10 directions, the hoisting high of Dharma's victory flag. Sharing one large umbrella with the world, with love and kindness as his mandala. The celebrated lotus sword of dance, pervasive with his precious parasol. The blazing energy of all the Buddhas, with bodies fully shared by all the Buddhas. The highest union form with all the Buddhas, a single teaching taught by all the Buddhas. Most glorious with Vajraratna's blessing, the highest sovereign lord of Savaratna. The king supreme name of Sava Lokeshwara, the Lord on high of Sava Vajradhara, the quintessential mind of Sarva Buddha, residing in the mind of every Buddha, the greatest body born by every Buddha, the lovely speech enriching every Buddha, the scorching brightness from the Vajra sun, with stainless luster from the Vajra moon, great passion of the passionless in others, with multicolored rays of brightly blaze, the perfect Buddha's perfect Vajra posture, retaining for all beings the Buddha's Dhamma, the lotus Buddha's celebrated son, the knowledge treasurer for the omniscient, the sovereign king controlling all illusions, the foremost master of the Buddha's spells, called Vajratishna, sword supremely mighty, completely pure, the highest syllable, atop pain's remedy, the Mahayana, with Vajradharma as his mighty weapon. Renowned as Jinajik, with Vajra thought aware of how things are, perfecting all perfections perfectly, adorned by all the grounds of bodhisattvas, the selflessness of pure phenomena, with luster that is moonlight unto knowledge, with great endeavors as illusory nets, the foremost master ruling every tantra, endowed in full with every Vajra posture, completely furnished with all wisdom bodies, completely good with intellect supreme, the embryo of earth sustaining beings, great embryo from which all Buddhas form with emanation circles. The highest nature of all entities, supportive of the nature of all things, with goals for all with dhammas unarisen, supportive of the nature of all dhammas, with full awareness of phenomena in but an instant as the wisest sage, with vivid realization of all dhammas, he is a sage, the greatest intellect, the vanquisher of hosts of evil spirits, unwavering, completely pure in nature, grasping the wakefulness of perfect Buddhas, the direct realization of all Buddhas. He is the vine for wisdom luminous, the great fulfiller of desired aims, the purifier of all evil states, the greatest of all living beings, protector, the earnest liberator of all creatures, unrivaled knight in battle with afflictions, humiliating ignorance his foe, the celebrated mind of harmlessness, endowed with forms heroic, so moving to and fro his hundreds of lengthy arms while setting down his stride, the dancer spreading through the whole of space, and filling it with Srimad's 100 arms, stood tall atop the surface of the earth. The soul of just 1 foot pervading all, stood tall atop the summit of the world. The nail of his big toe suppressing all, whose aim is one, whose aim is non-dual Dharma, whose aim is ultimate beyond destruction, whose mind consists in groups of consciousness, with varied objects, forms, and cognizance, amused with every object of existence, a mind of passion, loving emptiness, transcending worldly passion and the like, with great enjoyment for the threefold world, with fair complexion white like pristine clouds, with radiance like beams from autumn moons, with luster rivaling the morning suns, with nails emitting light of crimson red, with handsome crowns, sterling sapphires, whose hair is tips of sapphire deep blue, with glory from the light of his great jewel, adorned with emanations of the Buddhas, the shaker of 100 worldly realms, his strength to form miraculous powers, reality with mindfulness supreme, Samadhi, king of fourfold mindfulness, infused with sense from bloom on Bodhi's branches, an ocean of Tathagata virtues, with knowledge of the true way, with knowledge of the path of perfect Buddhas, the great attachment of all living beings, attachment free, comparable to space, when springing up in every creature's mind. He is for every being as swift as mind, aware of all the aptitudes of beings, while captivating every creature's mind with insight into aggregated natures, himself with fully pure 5 aggregates atop the peak of every going forth, most skilled in going forth in every way, established on all paths of going forth, the teacher of all forms of going forth, uprooting all becoming with 12 links, endowed with purity in all 12 forms, is formed the way of fourfold noble truth, with realization of the eightfold knowledge, with meaning of the truths in 12-fold form, aware of suchness in his 16 forms, with true awakening in 20 forms, awakened fully, knowing all supreme, dispatching countless sets of some 10 million, embodiments of emanating Buddhas, the final realization of all moments, who knows each moment's object for all minds, and manifesting for the sake of beings, with means derived from varied vehicles, gone forth by way of all 3 vehicles, remaining in the single vehicle's fruit, with purified afflictive spheres at heart, annihilating every karmic sphere, arrived atop dry land from flooding oceans, emerged from yoga's perilous dark grove, released from general, minor, and complete afflictions and their laden tendencies, with insight, means, and foremost empathy, achieving fruitful aims for living beings, abiding object-free through all perceptions, with consciousness as object with cessation, with every being the object of his mind, with knowledge as the mind of all the Buddhas, residing in the mind of every being, having become their mind's equality and satisfying the mind of every being. He is for every being great inner joy, confusion-free regarding points of doctrine, completely free from error in all its forms, his thinking free from doubt, his object threefold, his object all 3 properties by nature throughout 3 times the content of 5 skandhas, discerning clearly each and every moment, awakening in but a single moment, his basic nature equal to all Buddhas, with body, bodiless, the best of bodies, with realization of the peak of bodies, displaying his form in every possible way. He is the greatest stone, the precious gem, what all the perfect Buddhas are to know, The Buddha's unsurpassed awakening, devoid of syllables, yet born of mantra, arising from the great mantra's threefold family, the father to the meaning of all mantras. The greatest Bindu, void of syllables, with 5 great syllables, great empty one. 100-syllable, devoid of Bindu, endowed with every form, yet free from form. Supporting half of 16 Bindus, transcending every grouping, void of members. Sustaining Dhyana's fourth and final peak, aware of Dhyana's each and every aspect. With knowledge of Samadhi's types and families, the best of bodies, body of Samadhi. The sovereign king of all enjoyment bodies, the best of bodies, emanation body. The heir to emanations of the Buddhas, with varied emanations everywhere, while benefiting all who ever needed, the sovereign of the gods, the god of gods. Asura Lord, the ruler of immortals, the deities, the gods' guru. The highest lord of Pramatas, Pramata, emerged from psychic life's imposing forest. The single teacher guru for all beings, in every well-known world, in all directions. Bestower of the Dharma, concealed by armor made of loving kindness, well shielded by the shield of empathy, with wisdom sword in hand, with bow and arrow, concluding war with ignorance and klesha, the Mara's enemy and tamer hero, eliminating threats from all from Maras, defeating all the armies of the Maras, a guide for living beings, the perfect Buddha, destroying homage worthy of respect, deserving reverence always honorable, deserving worship worthy of regard, the highest guru ever venerable, traversing all 3 worlds in just one stride, his step extending past the bounds of space, with knowledge of the 3 well versed and pure, with 6-fold higher knowledge and recall, the Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, with power great, transcending worldly life, perfected by his excellence of insight, now unified with insight's highest nature, the whole aware of self, aware of other. For fit for all he is the best of men, surpassing all to which he is compared. Supremest Lord of knowing and what's known, the foremost master of imparting Dharma, who shows the meaning of the fourfold seal, the most revered amongst all living beings, engaged in going forth on all 3 paths with glory purified by ultimate truth. Most fortunate within the threefold world, the celebrated source of all endowments, supreme among the glorious Manjushri, homage to you, boon granter, best of Vajras. O summit of existence, homage to you, whose source is emptiness. O Buddha's awakening, homage to you. O passion of the Buddhas, homage to you. Desire of the Buddhas, I pay you homage. O love of every Buddha, homage to you. The joy of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage. O smile of every Buddha, homage to you. The laugh of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage. O speech of every Buddha, homage to you. The heart of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage. Arisen from non-being, homage to you, arisen from the Buddhas. Arisen from the sky, homage to you, born of pristine wisdom. O net of illusion, homage to you, the Buddha's spectacle. Homage to you, the everything of all, a body of wisdom, homage to you. Om Sarva Dhamma Bhava Sambhava Vishuddhe Vajra A Prakriti Parishuddha Sarva Dhamma Yaduta Sarva Tathagata Jnanakaya Manjushri Parishuddhitam Ubadayate Sarva Tathagata Shridayam Hara Hara Om Shri Bhagavan Jnanamurti Vageshwar Mahavacha Sarva Dhamma Gaganamal Subharishuddha Dharmadhatu Jnanagarbha Then Vajradhara, ever glorious, most pleased and satisfied, with 40 palms, prostrated to the Buddha, noble God, the Blessed One, the Lord Tathagata, and with a host of other Vajrapanis, of varied forms, the Lord of Guyakas, sublime protectors, noble wrathful kings, he then exclaimed this effervescent praise. Protector, we rejoice, how excellent what you've clearly taught. Through you our lofty aim has been achieved, which leads to true and full awakening. And so the aims of helpless mundane beings who seek the fruits of perfect liberation. Just this taught in the Maya Jala is the noble path that leads to excellence. With largest, vastness and profundity, with meaning great achieving beings' aims. Just this comprises every Buddha's sphere. Just this is taught by all awakened ones. So having recited the full Tantra, then we go back to the booklet and we recite number 5, the innermost essence of the Arya Manjushri Tantra. So then we recite this 2 times, and that counts as reciting the full Tantra 2 more times. In the language of India, Arya Manjushri Tantra Chitta. In the language of Tibet, Paba Jamba Gyuki Yanyin. In the English language, the innermost essence of the Arya Manjushri Tantra. I prostrate to the youthful Manjushri this way, to the Bhagavan Buddha, the wisdom body, self-arisen, the stainless soul eye of wisdom, the brilliant light of wisdom. Arapatsanaya Tenama. Homage to you, the wisdom body itself. Thus explained by all the complete Buddhas, the perfect expression of the ultimate names of the Bhagavan, the wisdom being Manjushri, as proclaimed by the Tathagata Shakyamuni, is complete. In the language of India, Arya Manjushri Tantra Chitta. In the language of Tibet, Paba Jamba Yuki Yanyin. In the English language, the innermost essence of the Arya Manjushri Tantra, I prostrate to the youthful Manjushri in this way to the Bhagavan Buddha, the wisdom body self-arisen, the stainless soul eye of wisdom, the brilliant light of wisdom, Arapatsanaya Tenama, homage to you, the wisdom body itself. Thus it was explained by all the complete Buddhas, the perfect expression of the ultimate names of the Bhagavan, the wisdom being Manjushri, as proclaimed by the Tathagata Shakyamuni, is complete. Wisdom bestowal continued. Samantabhadra's oceanic clouds, the finest of offerings, both actually laid out and mentally conjured, are arranged to fill the whole of existence. May they please you, ever youthful Manjushri. Om Arya Manjushri Argam Padyam Pupe Dupe Aloke Gende Nude Shab Pratitam Soha. Homage to you, Manjushri, sole embodiment of the wisdom of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You bring glory and splendor to all of samsara and nirvana. Protected with the perfect recitation of your adamantine names, I shall praise you fully. From this moment onward until my awakening, please hold me in your care with joy. Manjushri, son of speech, bless me so that in the short term the wisdoms of study, contemplation, and meditation will blossom fully, and I may teach, debate, and compose without equal. Ultimately, may I achieve the wisdom kaya that knows all percepts and things, to lead all beings to the supreme state of the ever-youthful Manjushri. Manjushri, you are ever free from elaboration, but in the illusory forms of dependent arising, you burst forth as the embodiment of wisdom, which returns the natural Dharmadhatu. By the power of all possible merit I have created through this practice, may all beings come to enjoy the wisdom of the Sugatas. And then the separate booklet, Prayer for the Swift Return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, beginning with His Holiness's prayer. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children, the victorious ones, Shravakas and Prateka Buddhas, victorious Losam, father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now, holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice. You wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable, venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and from other living beings you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels, and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beaming glory for fortunate disciples. Patient in bearing the hardships of spreading the teachings of the Muni in general, and the teachings of victorious Jemgan Tsongkhapa in hundreds of directions, Lord of Dharma holding the three vows and wearing saffron robes, please quickly return as the glory of the peerless teachings. You held the teachings of explanation and practice with great asceticism, unable to bear that transmigratory beings are confused by the darkness of suffering. Through your great loving kindness, you skillfully led them to happiness. Unparalleled Son of the teachings, please return quickly. Beautified by the ornament of supreme patience and increasing the practice of the supreme authentic teachings of the victorious one, through listening, reflection, and meditation, guide of all transmigratory beings along the perfect path, true and perfect pure Guru, please return quickly. Then Kadrala's prayer. Lama Kyan, Trinchen Sawe Lama Kyan, no. Trinchen Sawe Lama Senchin Gosu So, Nyamda Lobo So Nine. Da son du sheng yamu maru wa lama du son sangye jingye lo kene kun kya dewa chemba na maga sa yen la nyan shu nam se chen du she ranga na so tro ye she gyo cho sung gu nye jene se chen du she kyo we du la ba shen she chu ku yen ne shen ku long ru we dan du go Kachu lo so da jia ma jumbo. Lo cho zang bu ling yan dan ro la. Lo no dan ba ba che nyu jun so. Nyam dan ro wa dren che nyu jun so. Da so san chen lo bu o dum bu. Na so jel ne go son jing ge lo. Da so san chen ma re zin rong gi. Ku son tu dan chen le lon drum la. Gao chuan nan dan dan se nyam ba nam. Ku son do san nan dui sham ba tsa. Ta shi kung gian da shi cho. To nien yin jen da shi sho. Lo nyu jan da shi sho. Gyu me chu nian dan do gie. Tru me yan xian yu jun shu. De dan sam wen ga ro ne. Do na mi chu o do ni. Sa son la ye jing ye lo. Trama do nan drum mo shu. Mi ja mi je mi yo nam. Chunye de salon du. And then on the separate booklet, the King of Prayers. Rinpoche used to do this every evening. So this King of Prayers and also the Sutra of the Noble Three Jewels. So this is not, these are not specifically recommended for Rinpoche's quick return, but they are prayers that Rinpoche recommended that we do on the merit increasing days, such as the days of miracles. The extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samandabhadra, Samantrabhadra, Charya, Pranendana Rajaya, Pamba Zambo, Chube, Manlangi Gyapo. I bow down to the youthful Arya Magistri, you lions among humans, gone to freedom in the present, past and future, in the worlds of 10 directions, to all of you with body, speech and sincere mind, I bow down, with energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world. To all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every atom of Buddhas, numberless as atoms, each amidst a host of Bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way, with infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice. I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas, and celebrate all of you gone to bliss. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling light and sublime incense, I offer to you, victorious ones, fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, or wondrous offerings in spectacular array. I offer to you, victorious ones, with transcendent offerings peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in Bodhisattva way. I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done with my body, speech and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger and confusion, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all positive potential of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, hearers still training and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings, you who are the bright lights of worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening. All you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together I earnestly request, you who may actualize paranirvana, please stay with us, freons numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara, whatever slight positive potential I may have created, by paying homage, offering and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach. I now dedicate all this for full awakening. May you Buddhas now living in the worlds of 10 directions, and all you gone to freedom in the past accept my offerings. May those not yet arisen quickly perfect their minds, awakening as fully enlightened ones. May all worlds in 10 directions be entirely pure and vast. May they be filled with bodhisattvas, surrounding Buddhas gathered beneath the Bodhi tree. May as many beings as exist in 10 directions be always well and happy. May all samsara beings live in accord with the Dharma, and may their every Dharma wish be fulfilled. And bring my past lives in all varieties of existence. May I practice the Bodhisattva way, and thus in each cycle of death, migration, and birth, may I always abandon the householder's life, then following in the footsteps of all the Buddhas, and perfecting the practice of Bodhisattva, may I always act without error or compromise, with ethical discipline, faultless and pure. May I teach the Dharma in the language of gods, in every language of spirits and nagas, of humans and of demons, and in the voice of every form of being. May I be gentle-minded, cultivating the 6 parameters, and never forget bodhicitta. May I completely cleanse without omission every negativity and all that obscures this awakening mind. May I traverse all my lives in the world, free of karma, afflictions, and interfering forces, just as a lotus blossom is undisturbed by the water's wave, just as the sun and moon move unhindered through the sky. May I ease the suffering in the lower realms, and in the many directions and dimensions of the universe. May I guide all wanderers in samsara to pure bliss to awakening, and be of worldly benefit to them as well. May I practice constantly for aeons to come, perfecting the activities of awakening, acting in harmony with the various dispositions of beings, showing the ways of bodhisattva. May I always have the friendship of those whose path is like mine, and with body, words, and also mind. May we practice together the same aspirations and activities. May I always meet a spiritual mentor, and never displease that excellent friend who deeply wishes to help me and expertly teaches the Bodhisattva way. May I always directly see the Buddhas, masters encircled by Bodhisattvas, and without pause or discouragement for aeons to come. May I make extensive offerings to them. May I hold within me the Buddha's genuine Dharma, illuminate everywhere the teachings that awaken, embody the realizations of Bodhisattva, and practice ardently in all future aeons, while circling through all states of existence. May I become an endless treasure of good qualities, skillful means, wisdom, samadhi, and liberating stabilizations, gathering limitless pristine wisdom and positive potential. On one atom I shall see Buddha fields numberless as atoms, inconceivable Buddhas among bodhisattvas in every field, practicing the activities of awakening. Perceiving this in all directions, I dive into an ocean of Buddha fields, each an ocean of 3 times Buddhas in the space of a wisp of hair, till I too will practice for an ocean of aeons. Thus I am continually immersed in the speech of the Buddhas, expression that reveals an ocean of qualities in one word, the completely pure eloquence of all the Buddhas, communication suited to the very tendencies of beings. With strength of understanding I plunge into the infinite enlightened speech of the Dharma of all Buddhas in the 3 times gone to freedom. Turn the wheel of Dharma methods, I should experience in one moment such vast activity of all future aeons, and I will enter into all aeons as 3 times, in but a fraction of a second. In one instant I shall see all those awakened beings, past, present, and future lines among humans, and with the power of the illusion-like stabilization, I will constantly engage in their inconceivable activity. I shall manifest upon one single atom the array of pure lands, present, past, and future. Likewise, I shall enter the array of pure Buddha fields, in every direction without exception. I shall enter the very presence of all my guides. Those lights of this world were yet to appear, those sequentially turning the wheels of complete awakening, those who reveal nirvana, final perfect peace. May I achieve the power of swift magical emanation, the power to lead to the great vehicle through every approach, the power of always beneficial activity, the power of love pervading all realms, the power of all surpassing positive potential, the power of supreme knowledge unobstructed by discrimination, and through the powers of wisdom, skillful means, and samadhi, may I achieve the perfect power of awakening, purifying the power of all contaminated actions, crushing the power of disturbing emotions at their root, diffusing the power of interfering forces. I shall perfect the power of the Bodhisattva practice. May I purify an ocean of worlds. May I free an ocean of beings. May I clearly see an ocean of Dharma. May I realize an ocean of pristine wisdom. May I purify an ocean of activities. May I fulfill an ocean of aspirations. May I make offerings for an ocean of Buddhas. May I practice without discouragement for an ocean of aeons. To awaken fully through this Bodhisattva way, I shall fulfill without exception all the diverse aspirations, the awakening practice of all Buddhas gone to freedom in the 3 times everywhere, in order to practice exactly as the wise one, called Samandabhadra, all embracing good, the elder brother of the sons and daughters of the Buddhas. I completely dedicate all this goodness. Likewise may I dedicate, just as the skillful Samandabhadra, with pure body, speech, and mind, pure actions, and pure Buddha fields, I shall give rise to the aspirations of Manjushri, for this Bodhisattva practice of all embracing good, to perfect these practices without discouragement or pause in all future aeons. May my pure activities be endless, my good qualities boundless, and through abiding in immeasurable activity, may I actualize infinite emanations. Limitless is the end of space, likewise limitless to living beings, thus limitless to karma and afflictions. May my aspirations reach be limitless as well. One may offer to the Buddhas all wealth and adornments of infinite worlds in 10 directions, and one may offer during aeons numberless as atoms of the world, even the greatest happiness of gods and humans. But whoever hears this extraordinary aspiration and longing for highest awakening, gives rise to faith just once, creates far more precious positive potential. Those who make this heartfelt aspiration for the Bodhisattva way will be free of all lower rebirths, free of harmful companions, and will quickly see Amitabha infinite light. And even in this very human life, they'll be nourished by happiness and of all conducive circumstances. Without waiting long, they will become like Samandabhadra himself. Those who give voice to this extraordinary aspiration will quickly and completely purify the 5 boundless harmful actions created under the power of ignorance. Thus, with supreme knowledge, excellent body, family attributes, and appearance, they'll be invincible to vast interfering forces and misleading teachers, and all 3 worlds will make offerings, going quickly to the noble Bodhi tree, and sitting there to benefit sentient beings, subduing all interfering forces. They will fully awaken and turn the great will of Dharma. Without the complete awakening is a fully ripened result comprehended only by a Buddha, of holding in mind by teaching, reading, or reciting this aspiration of the Bodhisattva practice, in order to train just like the hero Manjushri who knows reality as it is, and just like Samandabhadra as well. I completely dedicate all this goodness just as they did, with that dedication which is praised as greatest by all the Buddhas gone to freedom in the 3 times. I too dedicate all my roots of goodness for the attainments of the Bodhisattva practice. When the moment of my death arrives, by eliminating all obscurations and directly perceiving Amitabha, may I go immediately to Sukhavati, pure land of great joy. Having gone to Sukhavati, may I actualize the meaning of these aspirations, fulfilling them all without exception, for the benefit of beings for as long as this world endures. Born from an extremely beautiful superlative lotus, in this joyful land, the Buddha's magnificent mandala, may I receive a prediction of my awakening directly from the Buddha Amitabha. Having received a prediction there, may I create vast benefit for beings throughout the 10 directions, with 1,000,000,000 emanations by the power of wisdom. Through even this small virtue I have accumulated, by offering this prayer of the Bodhisattva practice, may all the positive aspirations of beings be fulfilled in an instant, through creating limitless positive potential. By dedicating this prayer of Samandabhadra's deeds, may all beings drowning in this torrent of suffering enter the presence of Amitabha, through this king of aspirations which is the greatest of the sublime, helping infinite wanderers in samsara. Through accomplishment of this scripture dazzling with Samandabhadra's practice, may suffering realms be utterly emptied of all beings. So then we go back to the booklet and we do the long life prayer for His Holiness Dalai Lama. So this is the one that Rinpoche put together. Incomparably kind and supreme Tenzin Gyatso, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of all single benefit and happiness in this world, may you have a long life and all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Chitan Kandir Pende Malumo Gale Jomwe Sambel Yisheno Kadren Some Tenzin Gyatso Cho Kutse Nanching Tushe Lun Sho. And mantras to increase merit. Chomdende Deshin Shamadra Chumayan Nama Some Sangen Nama Nansi Yungin Gambola Chatsalo Chancha Samba Samba Chambo Kundu Sambola Chatsalo Tayata Om Benza Driwa Awa Bodhi Nesoha Om Duru Duru Zaya Munge So Tayata Om Benza Driwa Awa Bodhine Soha Om Duru Duru Zaya Munge So Tayata Om Benza Driwa Awa Bodhine Soha Om Duru Duru Zaya Munge So Tayata Om Benza Driwa Awa Bodhine Soha Om Duru Duru Zaya Munge So Tayata Om Benza Driwa Awa Bodhine Soha Om Duru Duru Zaya Munge So Tayata Om Benza Driwa Awa Bodhine Soha Om Duru Duru Zaya Munge So Tayata Om Benza Driwa Awa Bodhine Soha Om Duru Duru Zaya Munge Soha Chom Dende Deshin Shambhadra Chumbayan Nabasobe Sangye Mengela Benduria Unginga Bola Chatsal Chom Dende Deshin Shambhadra Chumbayan Nabasobe Sangye Noa Dhammanandan Cherandan Rumbenga Bola Chatsal. Due to the blessings, the eminent victorious ones and the bodhisattvas, the truth of infallible dependent rising, and the power of my pure special attitude taking responsibility, may all the aims of my pure prayers be accomplished immediately. So that completes the prayers for the fifth return of Kavji Zopa Rinpoche and the live stream. So then we